Of course, so let's do a check-in on the state of municipalities in the country. And for that, we are joined by Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister, Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Minister, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think that you look at the challenges that are faced by the various municipalities in the country. I must say that you do have a very unenviable task on your hands. But talk to us about the latest efforts by the department. I know that the latest to come from COCTA is extending the deadline for a white paper review amid what you've called a local government crisis. Give us the background for the purpose of our viewer, what this white paper aims to achieve, Minister.
Good evening, Naledi and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Indeed, Naledi, the white paper review on local government is a reimagining municipalities that will be fit for purpose as we go forward. The closing date was June. At the end of the month, we received many requests from various stakeholders that they are still doing consultation, including municipalities as well as the National House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders and other NGOs, and then we extended it to the end of July. The reaction is very good. In the public meetings that we are holding, we get a lot of insight from people to fix our local government space, because indeed, Naledi, as you have been just relating the story of Morafong, it's a number of areas around Johannesburg, even in Tshwane. Challenges are huge. Corruption is rife. The white paper review wants to professionalize the administration. If you get people who are suitably qualified, who were not deployed as cadres, who know what they are doing, when money is given to their hands, they will handle with care. Even the political leaders, mayors, speakers, deputy mayors, exco members must have a certain competency, because if you give millions of rands to someone who is not competent, really, that person is not going to be able even to account about that money or even to follow the administration. So now, the white paper review wants to reimagine going forward the next 30 years. We must have government at a local space that are fit for purpose, that are viable, that will be able to deliver services on time, that will be able to pay the water boards, ESCOM. When they take money from employees, they must pay the third parties, medical aids, pension aids, because something wrong is happening. In some of our municipalities, they deduct money from employees, they use it for something else, they don't pay a pension fund. When a person goes on pension, he or she can't get a pension because the municipality is in areas with millions of rand which they can't pay overnight.
You know, one of the things that we also need to look at is not just how municipal funding is used in municipalities, obviously a big feature of this white paper. But what it also talks about, and I'm keen to get your view on this, is that relationship between municipal officials and communities. You look at the issue of this community in Morafong, it's a feud between community activists and the municipality. The municipality says we're open to account, but that accountability, according to the community, still hasn't happened. How do we bridge that gap? Surely with some engagement, you're able to then have a meeting in the middle and perhaps even an improvement of service delivery in communities.
But Naledi, it will begin by professionalizing the local government space. People who are employed must not be people who were deployed as cadres with no competence or little competence. If in the local government, the employment of officials, senior officials, is based on competence, the MM, the CFO, they will not run away when it is time to give accountability. I know that story that is being handled by the Hawks, because the mere fact that the matter is eventually landing with the Hawks and the public protector, it means the employees in the municipality cannot account where the money went to. So now we need to fix the employment of the employees at a senior level as a starting point. It must be based on competence. And the political parties, when they deploy mayors, must deploy people who can read the audit outcome, who can be in a good space to interpret the annual financial statements, every money that must follow it, they must account about it.
There is the issue of money that has been allocated in disaster relief for the Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal. Now, you're quoted, Minister, as having warned municipalities to use disaster funds quickly and only for the intended purpose. I don't know what updates you are receiving, and we've been following this issue very closely, getting perspective from officials, looking to get perspective from officials in KZN as well as the Eastern Cape. Disaster relief funds having been sent also to the Eastern Cape after the floods in Mthatha, but of course that allocation, I remember we had this discussion, you and I, about really disasters that were seen much earlier on in the year. So that speaks of the shortfall that really is already there. You can touch on that. But just 2 days ago, you've got the Sunday World reporting of a COGTA official who left KZN under a cloud of maladministration and, some allegations of corruption, resurfacing in the Eastern Cape to work in the space of disaster management. What updates are you receiving from that? Are officials, COGTA, provincial structures being transparent even with your office where issues like that are concerned?
Naledi, we are following that story of an official from KZN appearing in Eastern Cape in the midst of these disaster allocations. And we are vigilant. As I said, Naledi, the next tranche that I will be announcing in the month of August, it is going to be a bigger money for Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal in billions. We are not going to release that money until a municipality gives a full account. How did they spend the money given in 2024, given in March at the beginning of this year? Yes, the one that is going to be transferred in July, we will request accountability later. If they can't account last year's allocation and March allocation, we won't release the August allocation. As I indicated, rather, we will get a service provider to execute the projects so that people can get the relief as they are still not yet resettled into a home space where life returns to normalcy.
Yeah. Before I let you go, Minister, contributions to the white paper, and I imagine that you want to make a call as well for community members to make their contributions.
Indeed, Naledi. A clarion call is made to all people of South Africa. This is the opportunity to contribute in fixing your local government. Complaining has been heard. Now we need ideas so that when we table a revised white paper in March, it must be a product of your views. It must result into municipalities that will be fit for purpose and able to deliver on time. We want this process to be informed by you. Ours is to facilitate the South Africa's views in shaping the government where they live. The closing date is 31 July.
If you'll allow me, Minister, there's this issue that, of course, came up just recently of the report being yourself being at odds with the Ekurhuleni municipality over the appointment of the CFO. And I wonder what the update has been where that matter is concerned. You, of course, have come out and said the appointment of Kagiso Lerutla is invalid. What is the latest from that municipality?
Naledi, every municipality that does not follow the regulations from the composition of the panel, from the interview process, like the case of Ekurhuleni, the composition of the panel is not in compliance with the regulations. We received a complaint, we followed it, and we discovered it was not compliant. And there is the municipality needs to fix that problem. And the only way to fix it is to re-advertise the post and do it accordingly. There are so many cases. Some of them are in court where municipalities decided to go ahead against the regulations, and the matters are in the court of law, which is not necessary because everybody have regulations in front of him or her and have to comply with it.
Are there implications if they do not take your instruction as COGTA Minister to re-advertise that post?
The matter goes to the court of law, and the court of law will compel them because even the court of law discovers that, but you went against the law. You know, Naledi, just not taking your time.
Sure.
Some municipalities, when there are 5 applicants, they ignore the highest person in terms of performance. They go and take the lowest who did not perform at all. And if they refuse, we take them to the court of law. The court of law simply look at scores and said, but why do you not take number 1? Because you were the interviewee with the interviewers and you allocated higher scores to a certain person. You gave this one the lowest. Why then do you go against your decision? If in this case, it is not necessary to go to the court of law, but if they don't comply, eventually we have no other choice except to take the matter to the court of law.
Yeah, we could talk for a very long time about various municipalities and parts of the country, but of course we'll be looking at the contributions to come to this white paper extension as well that you have put forward for us. Minister, thank you so much for speaking to us. Minister for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Velenkosini Hlabisa.